Hi folks, John Cordisco back again. Sorry it's been so long since my last video. Unfortunately, life gets in the way of chess. Kinda sucks, but that's the way it is. This is a game from the Battle of the Legends that was played at the end of April at the Chess Club and Scholastic Center in St. Louis. Two individuals that need no introduction in the chess world. As white, Nigel Short from England, former World Championship challenger. Nigel is still an active player in his 40s. I'll give him that. And as black, Garry Kasparov, multi-year world champion, arguably the best player that ever lived. Remember, this is a blitz game, so let's not get on the guys too much on the quality of the moves. Let's get to it. It's going to be a Sicilian. Short is white, Kasparov is black, and of course Sicilian. That's Garry. Always will, and always still stay a Sicilian player. Bishop g5, e6, queen d2, typical stuff. Bishop e7, they both castle. There you go, with the white castle on the queen side and the black on the king side. That usually means trouble for one of them. h4, interesting move there by Nigel. I like the move. It's a standard move. Computer also likes knight takes c6, pawn takes, bishop takes f6. He decides to go h4. We're going to go for it already. a6. According to the computer, that's the last book move. Knight takes c6, bishop takes f6, h5. Nigel decides to go king to b1. I call that a grandmaster move when they move the king on the queen side, castling a space over. Just to get off of this file and some protection for the a-pawn. h6, kicking the bishop. He goes f4. What to do? What to do? The computer likes knight takes d4 first. Then after queen takes d4, pawn takes the bishop. He decides to go bishop to d7 instead. I'm a little surprised at Garry. Remember, this is blitz. We're on move 11. Very tempting might have been pawn takes. Then after knight takes, you're in a lot of trouble if you're black. After bishop to d7, bishop takes, knight f3. I see he wants to get the knight on the queen side, king side. Well, he's got a pretty active position here. Computer shows almost a half-point advantage, pawn advantage for white, which is Short. So Short's doing very well. Now, up to this point, they played over 2 days. Won a rapid match for 25 minutes, 4 blitz games, and then the next day had the same exact sequence. This is game 8, so Nigel's really getting his butt handed to him. So I got to give him this. He's still hanging in there. Queen to a5, e5. Gonna open up position a little bit. Pawn takes, queen takes, e4. Now, white is up a piece temporarily, but the fact of the matter is, it's a small advantage for black. He's got to move the knight. Bishop takes, pawn takes, rook a to d8, hitting the queen. Queen's got to take the pawn. Rook takes, knight takes, queen to e1. Wow, wow, wow. White is up a full bishop, but half pawn advantage for black. This is really, really amazing stuff, even for blitz. Bishop e2. Has to give up the rook. Queen takes. So right now, white has 2 pieces for the rook. And it's still an advantage for black. Rook to d8. And this is where I think Nigel miscues. b3, a3, a4. Decides to go b4. Probably the only pawn move. And that was a disaster. After b3, queen to e1. Bishop comes up. He's going to do okay. Queen. Small advantage for black, but not much of one. But after b4, queen to e1, queen takes, Queen takes pawn, check. That's the killer. C1, queen to D2 check. King over to B2. Rook checks. It's a disaster for white. Minus 9 points now for black. Bishop blocks. Queen checks. King C1. Rook takes. Knight C3. Rook takes. Queen C6. E3. And that's it. And Nigel said, I've had enough. Right now it's a 16-point advantage for black. Give you a rough idea. I won't go through the whole scenario. But after queen to D4, check. Some computer moves here. Check. You get the idea. Down a rook and 2 pawns. No point in continuing. Tough break for Nigel. Hell of a game for Gary. Remember, this is Blitz, guys. Anything can happen. Nigel was holding his own for a while and it just fell apart on him. Anyway, folks, that's round 8 of the Battle of the Legends. Nigel Short and Gary Kasparov. And as I always say at the end of my videos, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.